of this approach? Well, perhaps it takes an extra 2 milliseconds for WordPress to run our PHP function instead of just loading a static string of text from the database. But I would argue that if you're being smart about caching on your site, that's not an issue. So long story short, I'm a huge fan of this approach. Just a few quick notes before we close out this lesson. You could use the escape_HTML function to escape these dynamic values. However, it's not uncommon in the history of WordPress to give the admin owner of the site the ability to type in HTML into their edit screen. So that's your own judgment call. In this case, we don't really need the admin to be able to enter HTML into those fields, so I probably would wrap this in escape_HTML. Okay, next, I find that writing and concatenating PHP like this is super awkward. So what we can do instead is this. You can do this with me. Go ahead and completely empty out the body of this function. And instead, let's say ob_start, and then we're going to exit PHP. And then right here, we can have some HTML. And then on a new line, let's go back into PHP and return ob_get_clean. Semicolon. So OB stands for output buffer, and essentially anything that comes after this but before this, well, that's what's going to get returned in our function. So where the X is, we can just type regular old HTML now. So maybe we want a heading level 3, and to save time, let me type this out and you can pause the video if you want to. The point is that now instead of concatenating a long string together, we're just writing out HTML. When we want to do something dynamic, we're just dropping in to PHP. So it's up to you to use the attributes however you see fit, but if I save that and refresh the front end, it still works perfectly. And that is going to bring this lesson to a close. Now that we understand the very basics of setting up a block type, and we know how to connect the dots between JavaScript and PHP, I think we're ready to actually start building interesting block types. So let's look at a sneak peek preview of what we're going to build together. In our very next lesson, we're going to begin working on these real block types. So this is a quiz or multiple choice type of block type where you give a question, answers. That's the editor version. This is what it looks like on the front end. The user can get an answer wrong or get an answer correct. Okay, once we build that together, then we're going to work on this block type together called featured professor. So this is what the editor version looks like. You can choose any professor post type. It's going to give you a live preview. This is what it looks like on the editor side, and this is what it looks like on the front end. So it gives you a link that takes you to that professor's permalink, and then on the professor permalink, our plugin is going to look for any and all posts that are pointing towards this professor. So it's sort of a two-way example, working with metadata, creating relationships, and we're tying it all back in to the WordPress block editor. I think this is going to be a lot of fun. Let's keep things rolling, and I'll see you in the next lesson. Hello again, hope you're enjoying the video. The next 16 lessons where we use JavaScript to build custom block types, those are only available in my full 36-hour premium WordPress development course. In the description of this video, you'll find a link to join that course at the best price. Having said that, in this YouTube video right now, I want to change gears and talk about the database side of things. So when does it make sense to use custom post types to store the data for your plugin? And when does it make sense to maybe go the extra mile and create your own custom database table? So right now, let's discuss that topic. Hello everyone. In this lesson, we're starting a new chapter. So this is the third and final chapter in the plugin development section of the course, and it's all about how we should store our plugins data in the database. Now, before we go any further and start to talk about the details of what we're going to learn in this chapter, I first want to keep us grounded in real-world examples. So let me begin by showing you this. So here I have two different sites, two different tabs, and at first the two sites look identical. So this is a pet adoption page, and there are 100,000 pets in the collection of pets or the database of pets, and you can see each pet is just an item that has a name and 6 other pieces of data. Now, while both versions of the site are identical in that sense, they both have 100,000 pet records with the same properties. They're similar in that regard, but the two sites are very different in the sense that this tab is using the WordPress way of handling data, right? Which is custom post types. In WordPress, basically everything is just a post. So each pet is a post, the pet's name is the title, and then these 6 attributes, each one of these is just a piece of metadata associated to that post. So this tab is the WordPress custom post type way of doing things. This tab is using my own custom database table and my own SQL queries that I wrote. Now, at first glance on this initial page that just pulls in the first 100 pets, regardless of their species or favorite color or favorite food, you can see that the speed is very similar. So my custom database solution took a little bit less than 1/10 of a second, and the WordPress way of doing things took a little bit under 2/10 of a second. However, what if we only wanted to see pets where the species is cat and maybe their favorite color is green? So for example, if a specific plugin should use custom post types or a custom database table, there is no full 100,000 example site to experiment with, then you can do that, but you don't need to. So for example, if I set this to just even 100, I'll let it load in real time. So if I go back and refresh, you can see it doesn't happen immediately. That took maybe 1 or 2 seconds, but now I have 120 pets. So let me comment out this line again. So again, it's totally up to you how many pets you want to add. But now if we view the front end of our website and at the end of the homepage URL, if we visit pet-adoption, well, perfect. We see found 120 results showing the first 100, and here is the actual data. Now as we just saw at the very beginning of the video, when you're just performing a base query like this, where you're not searching for a specific species or favorite color, the WordPress way of handling data with post types is not very slow at all. And even further in defense of custom post types, even if you do want to query based on a piece of metadata, even that is not going to be slow unless you have a lot of posts and post meta. So let me explain. If we go up into the address bar and at the end say $species equals dog and visit that, cool, so you can see out of the 120 pets that I had, 6 of them are dogs. But notice that the time it took to find that is not very long, so that's not very slow. However, as you continue to add more and more pet posts, it's just going to get dramatically slower and slower. To understand why, let's go actually look at our database. If you're using the local WP app, you can just click on the current site you're running, click on the database tab, and then click Open Adminer. Just a quick note, if you have more than one WordPress site running at once, I have seen local get confused when you click Open Adminer and it will show you the database not for the current site that you think you're viewing. So if it feels like you're not looking at the correct data for your site, you might just need to stop any other currently running sites. Let's start by looking at the posts table. So in the left-hand area, click onto the post table, then click Select Data. Let's go to the very last page of results. And as you scroll through this list, if you created any decent amount of pets, you'll notice that each one of these posts is just a randomly generated pet. However, really the only piece of relevant pet data is the blog post title, right? That's their name. But as you scroll through this, you're not going to find their favorite color or their favorite food, their favorite hobby, because all of that is post meta or metadata. We need to remember that at its core, WordPress was originally just about creating blog posts. So the shape of data, or the shape of this table, is designed with blog posts in mind. If you want to store any type of information about something that isn't in the shape of a blog post, that's where you have to use post meta. And this is where we're getting into why this approach gets so slow in certain situations. So check this out. If we want to actually find any of their favorite colors or hobbies or foods, we need to go into post meta, the post meta table. If we click into that and click Select Data and go to our very last page, and if we look through this, notice we see fave food, birth year, weight, fave color, fave hobby, and then it already starts to repeat here. So there's going to be those 6 or 7 properties for each pet or for each post. Right? Notice that all of these, they have the exact same post ID. So they're all pointing towards that one pet object or pet post. But each little piece of data is its own entry, its own record or row in the database. And there are both pros and cons to this approach or to this database design. So the big advantage is that it's super flexible. This is what allows WordPress to... Hey, welcome back. This video is for you if you know a little bit about React.js, you understand maybe what it is, what it's used for, but you're not sure how to integrate it with WordPress. Because there's a lot of great tutorials out there about how to use React on the editor screen, right, for creating a Gutenberg block type, but there doesn't really seem to be an official WordPress way of using React on the front end. Once again, my cat is destroying my blinds. So in this video, I'm going to show you the official WordPress package from NPM and how with basically 0 configuration, we can get it up and running and we can use React both for the editor screen and our public front-facing website. And we're gonna set this up for both a theme and a plugin. It's just a lot of default themes that work. And there's no right or wrong. However, I do want to show you one last task. So if you go into the package and if you go into variables.scss, this is where I've defined, the primary and secondary colors. So if you just change this blue color in this one location to maybe purple and give it a save, if you go back to the browser and refresh, plugins folder, let's just type green color difference with this background color. I could actually change the background color for this multiple choice block type. What species is meows a lot? If you get it wrong on purpose, you see this animation. This one says sky color. Click on that. Only then does it reveal that value. Same. This is where you choose which answer is the correct answer from the admin side of things. So I can update that, and then if I view it on the front end, we should see that new background color. Yep. But I did want to show you how the featured professor block type works. So this has to deal with relationship. Anyways, before we bring this video to a close, let's take a look at the folder and file structure for this example plugin. So in our plugin, you'll see on the ad here as well. Here, well, that's outside the scope of this video, but again, you might. Hello, everyone. So a few months ago, there was a huge change in the WordPress world. Block themes and full site editing were officially introduced. And these are exciting features, but there's also a ton of uncertainty and confusion surrounding them, especially in terms of how to approach them as a WordPress developer if you've always used WordPress as more of a content management system instead of a click and drag page builder or page designer tool. In this video, I want to help make sense of this entire situation and also share my own personal approach to these new tools in WordPress. Before we get started, this video is actually just an excerpt from the brand new 6-hour chapter all about block themes that I just added to my full WordPress development course. The full course is now over 40 hours long, and if you enjoyed this video, you might enjoy the full course. In the description for this video, you'll find this link that has heavily discounted coupons for all of my courses, and the full WordPress course is this orange one right here. Anyways, without further ado, let's get started with the actual video and let's make sense of block themes and full site editing. Hello everyone. In this lesson, we're starting an entirely new chapter about something in WordPress called full site editing. If this is your first time hearing about full site editing, that's okay. Right now, our goal is to begin to answer the questions of number 1, what in the world is full site editing? And number 2, what in the world is a block theme? Well, I think instead of jumping right into a technical explanation, I think it's more intuitive to just look at a sneak peek preview of the finished product of what we're going to be building together in this chapter. So right now on screen, this used to be the fictional university theme, the traditional theme with PHP templates. However, off camera, I've recreated it as a block theme, and it now supports full site editing. I realize we don't know what those terms mean yet, but right now, let me walk you through some of the new features that this approach enables or supports. And don't worry that I built this off camera. The entire point of this chapter is for you and I to rebuild this together step by step. But right now, let's get a big picture overview of why it's interesting or useful in the first place. So, for example, in the past with a traditional theme, how would you change the homepage content? Maybe you'd have to edit the actual PHP template files, or maybe you created an actual page in WordPress named homepage. And then you could edit the WYSIWYG main body content. But even doing that is not super intuitive for the end user. So when you have a block theme instead of a traditional theme that supports full site editing, watch how easy this is. You would just go into your dashboard. Under Appearance, click Editor. By default, it's going to pull up the front page or home page template, and now you can just start clicking to edit. So imagine if I wanted to change this content, I can just click right here. If I want to get rid of the exclamation or add 3, whatever, I can change this subheadline. I can change this. Let me put it back. You get the idea. If I want this button to be medium or small or large, if I want to change the color for the button, just click on it. Use this button to slide out the right-hand sidebar. Maybe I want it to be light orange or blue. Let's go with light orange instead of dark orange. So I click Save. Well, let me actually add a change here so we can see it on the front end. So if I had 3 dots, click save, refresh, perfect. We see the light orange button and the new text. Also down below on the home page, you can see we've got our upcoming events from our blogs and then a slideshow. So what if I wanted the slideshow to sit above this events and blogs area? Well, you can just scroll down in the editor. Here is the slideshow area. Just use the editor screen arrow to move that up. Click save, back on the front end. Cool, so now you've got the welcome banner, slideshow, and then the events in our blogs. I think you're already starting to see the picture. So the idea is that changes that in the past you might have had to make in a theme file, now you can just make directly from the WordPress editor, hence the name full site editing. Let's say I'm not happy with these changes that I just made. They are sort of weird changes. So you can just go back, click on templates here. Here's the front page template. I can just click this icon and click clear customizations, and it's going to go back to its default appearance and settings. Cool. Let's walk through another example. So let's go to an individual blog post screen or a single blog post screen. So if I visit a blog post, imagine I want to add to the very bottom of this template file. So right below the footer, right about here. What if I wanted a slideshow to sit here, or that upcoming events and blog posts area? What if I wanted that to sit here? Well, in the past, you would have no choice. You would need to go into single.php, right, and edit the PHP template file. But with a block theme, check this out. We just go into the template screen here, look for the single post template. Let's click on that to begin editing it. Because there's nothing truly dynamic or customizable about the header, the footer, or just the body content, I just have placeholder blocks here. We'll learn more about this approach of mine later on. But imagine right before the footer, I wanted to add something. So I could just click this. Let me begin to search for slideshow. So I'll insert my custom slideshow block. Just for this example, let's create a slideshow with 2 slides, just so we don't spend too much time. So I'll add my first slide with a heading, and I'll say, the sky is blue. Let me make that a medium-sized heading. Below that, we can add a clickable button. We won't worry about where it's actually linking to, but let's just say learn more. Now, if we click on the slide itself, so this area with the black background, notice on the right-hand sidebar, we can choose an image. So you can choose one of your existing images, or you can upload a new one. I'll just click a random one. Cool, let's add slide number 2. So you click on the overall gray area, that's the parent slideshow as a whole. If I click on that, you can see there's a button down here to add a second slide. So I'll just say slide number 2. We can leave that as a large headline. Let's add a button that says amazing, and let's make that button orange instead of default blue. Let's add a background image for the slide. Let's go with this building. So if I click save and then go refresh this individual blog post screen, cool. So there is the blog post content, and then down at the bottom, there is our slideshow with our 2 slides. The point here is that we modified this single blog post template without ever having to go into our text editor. And we did so in a way that's still consistent with the design language and branding of our theme. Right? These are the exact same slideshow styles that you would have seen on the home page. For one final example, I want to show you how we can really get creative here. So imagine we were the end user or owner of this site and not a web developer. And imagine we wanted to create a landing page. So maybe just an interesting banner image area, a bit of text, and then no footer and no navigation links. Just a landing page, right? Well, check this out. If we go into WordPress, let me go back to the overall dashboard. Let's create a new page. So add new page. I'll name this page example landing page. Now here's the cool part. Under page template, I'm going to choose something called Brad's blank canvas. Now the name doesn't matter. I just made this name up. But if I select that, well, it's essentially giving me a blank slate. So check this out. If we add a paragraph that just says lorem ipsum and publish this page and then view it, cool. So there's no header, there's no footer, There's just a little bit of content. However, due to the nature of a block theme and the way that I've set up my specific block theme, we can use the power of composition, right? And just start adding whichever blocks we want. So let me get rid of lorem ipsum. Imagine if you did want the navigation up at the top. Well, I have a block called header. But if you don't want that, you don't have to include it for this specific page. So maybe we just want a banner area. So I named it homepage banner. I probably should have named it something more generic like just banner. But I can click that. Let me choose a background image. How about this dog? Let me add a heading. Landing page. Below that, we could even add a button. Learn more, make it dark orange. And then maybe we don't even want the universal site footer at the bottom of this page. Maybe we just want upcoming events and blogs, or any other blog. So maybe if I just search for events and blogs, add that. If I click update and go refresh, cool. It was that easy to create a completely custom template, right? There's no site-wide navigation at the top. There's no footer at the bottom. We just created a landing page, or you could have added any content you wanted. So over the last 5 or 10 minutes, we've seen that you could very easily edit the home page, right? We learned how to edit this content and rearrange this content. We've edited the single blog post template, and we just set up a custom landing page template. And we did all of this without digging into our text editor. So I am fully aware we have not answered the technical question of what is full site editing or what is a block theme, right? We haven't answered those questions from a technical or code perspective, but hopefully we've answered them from the why would you even bother perspective, right? Hopefully you've seen how the features that they enable are interesting or cool, or you could see how they'd be useful for your clients or your end users. From here, in our very next lesson, we are going to begin answering the questions from a technical perspective. So we'll actually start to look at the folder structure, the files, the code, so on and so forth. This should be a lot of fun. I'm excited to jump into this journey with you. So let's keep things rolling, and I will see you in the next lesson. Hello, everyone. In this lesson, we're going to learn how to create a block theme. And more importantly, we're going to fully understand what exactly a block theme truly is. I think hands-on experience is way more valuable than listening to technical explanations, so let's do this. Right now, I want you to follow along with me. Let's just go create a brand new theme folder. So on your computer, navigate to wherever your local WordPress installation lives. So basically, you're looking for the directory that has folders such as WP Content, WP Admin. So we would dig into WP Content, dig into the Themes folder. And in this folder, let's just together right now create a brand new folder. You can name it whatever you want. But just so you and I are on the same page, why don't we name the new folder maybe Fictional block theme. Okay, now go ahead and open this folder up with your text editor. Okay, now just like a traditional theme, we want to begin by having a certain file named, so new file, style.css, right? Some things never change. And even if we don't want to include any CSS in this file, we just include a comment, so /*, and then we say theme name : and then just make up a name. Let's call it Fictional University Block Theme. Close out the comment, so */. That's all we need for now. We can save this file. And just like with a traditional theme, we need to have another file named index.php. Now, interestingly enough, we don't need to do anything in this file. We can leave it completely blank. I believe in the future, WordPress is even considering removing this requirement to even have this file at all. But as of today, we still need this file. Okay, finally, let's create a folder within our theme folder. So new folder, and it needs to be named templates. So this exact name, templates. In this new subfolder of templates, let's create a new file and name it index.html. Now in this HTML file, just for a quick test, just say hello or hey or hi, just for a proof of concept. Cool, so we save that. Now back in WordPress, let's go activate this theme. So in the admin dashboard, under appearance, from the theme selection screen, there it is, Fictional University block theme, just click activate. And if I refresh the front end, cool. Now we just see the word hello. So now that we've created this new empty theme with just the word hello, let's actually talk about what in the world is supposed to be going on in this HTML file. Because the file ends in a .html extension, you might assume that you're allowed to have HTML in the file. So maybe you want for example, a paragraph element, so p tag, and say, hello there, exclamation. However, if I save this, we just broke the theme. Let me explain. Technically, yes, that shows up here, but it's not a valid block theme, and the whole point of block themes and full site editing has just been destroyed by us including top-level HTML like this. Let me show you what I mean. If you go into the admin and click on Editor under the Appearance menu, so Editor, and you can see we're trying to edit the index template. Well, this block has encountered an error and cannot be previewed. So to get back to the question of what in the world is supposed to live in this file, you cannot include HTML directly like this. Instead, everything within this file needs to be a block. That way, this editing screen can treat it just like a regular WordPress post or page, right? Everything is comprised of different blocks. So, if we wanted to include a paragraph, what would we have to do? You would have to have an HTML comment like this, WP:paragraph. Then you could have an HTML opening and closing and say, hello there, this is a paragraph. And then below that, close the HTML comment. So now it would be /WP:paragraph. So if I give that a save, the front end still works, there it is, only now the editing screen will actually work. So if I refresh this screen, perfect. WordPress and the block editor can actually make sense of what was in our HTML template file. So the block editor can definitely handle us making changes to that existing paragraph. So maybe we change it to just be hello. And then if we press enter, this is the exact, or at least 99.9% the same interface you're used to working with when creating posts and pages. So maybe I want to add a heading level 3. So you could type / and choose heading, or if you prefer to use this icon right about here, or this icon up here, right? However you like to use the block editor, but let me just add a heading level 3. So I'll change it to H3. Welcome to our site. Now that I've made a change to the template from within the editor instead of my text editor, let's actually click save. And then click save again. Now if we look at the front end and refresh, we see those changes reflected right here. However, it's not as if WordPress just automatically updated our text editor file. So you can see index.html did not get updated with a heading level 3 here. At this point, I think the easiest way to make sense of what's going on is to actually look at the database that's powering our WordPress. So if you're using the local by Flywheel software for your website, you can just click on to database and then click open up adminer. So adminer will look something like this. Now let's just go look in our posts table. So WP_posts. We don't want to look at the structure. We want to look at the actual data. So select data and then just order them or go to the actual last or final page. So I'll click on last, scroll down to the very bottom. So this is the most recent post that we created or edited. And if you click on edit, just so we can view the content here, notice the post_content field. So this is where the actual body content for the post entity lives. Well, there it is. Let me zoom in a little bit, but there's the paragraph, and below it, there is the heading level 3. So this is the exact code that would live in your template file. In other words, WordPress is storing the copy of it here because we, as the end user or the client, or the non-web developer person that's working with the website, we made our changes within the web browser. So WordPress is saving or storing the template that we edited into the database. But now if we want to export this into our actual true template file, well, you have a couple of options. Number one, you could just grab this value and just copy and paste it into your clipboard right out of the database. Or another option, from the editor screen, you can click these 3 dots, click export right about here. That's going to download a zip. And if you look inside that zip file, you'll see template files with the code that you created from the editor. In my case, I'm just going to grab the value right from the database, and then I could place that into my actual true HTML template file here. So now if I save this, let me show you the whole point of having this in the actual file. So if we save that and then go back into the editor, and let's say we make a mistake. So we add a new paragraph and it's just nonsense, and we accidentally deleted all of the other content, and then we clicked save and we refreshed and we realized, oh no, we don't like this. We liked the starter version that was from our actual template file. Well, that's the good news. This actual file always serves as sort of a safe home base that you can revert. Deleted all of the other content, HTML web developer person. Look in our posts table, so WP_posts. We don't want to look at the structure. We want to look at the actual data. So select data and then just order them or go to the actual last or final page. So I'll click on last, scroll down to the very bottom. So this is the most recent post that we created or edited. And if you click on edit, just so we can view the content here, notice the post_content field. So this is where the actual body content for the post entity lives. Well, there it is. Let me zoom in a little bit, but there's the paragraph, and below it, there is the heading level 3. So this is the exact code that would live in your template file. In other words, WordPress is storing the copy of it here because we, as the end user or the client, or the non-web developer person that's working with the website, we made our changes within the web browser. So So WordPress is saving or storing the template that we edited into the database. But now if we want to export this into our actual true template file, well, you have a couple of options. Number one, you could just grab this value and just copy and paste it into your clipboard right out of the database. Or another option, from the editor screen, you can click these three dots, click export right about here. That's gonna download a zip. And if you look inside that zip file, you'll see template files with the code that you created from the editor. In my case, I'm just gonna grab the value right from the database, and then I could place that into my actual true HTML template file here. So now if I save this, let me show you the whole point of having this in the actual file. So if we save that and then go back into the editor, and let's say we make a mistake. So we add a new paragraph and it's just nonsense, and we accidentally deleted all of the other content, and then we clicked save and we refreshed and we realized, oh no, we don't like this. We liked the starter version that was from our actual template file. Well, that's the good news. This actual file always serves as sort of a safe home base that you can revert back to. So in the admin screen, you can click on the top left icon, go into templates. Now you do sometimes need to manually refresh this screen. So if I refresh, cool. This blue icon here for the index template indicates that you've made customizations from within your browser. But if we click these three icons here, we can revert or clear those customizations, right? In other words, it's gonna use the actual HTML hard drive file. So we can click clear customizations, and now our website is back to just using the exact code from our file. So you can see that there's some give and take, there's interaction between the editor and our text editor, right? We didn't have to manually type out this comment for a WordPress heading level 3 block. We used the click and drag, point and click, what you see is what you get editor to create this, but then we just pasted it into our template file. Now at this point, if you're anything like me, you're probably 101% disgusted at the thought of having to use this approach for your entire theme, right? You probably don't want to be limited and restricted to only using WordPress core blocks like this and never getting to actually write your own custom HTML structure, right? What if you don't want to write HTML the way that WordPress does? What if you want to write your own HTML? Well, don't worry, we'll address that concern a bit later in the lesson. I promise we will. But for right now, I want to keep showing you how a block theme works at its most basic level. So in our templates folder, we just have the one file, index.html. Now, just like in a traditional theme that would have index.php, that serves as sort of the universal fallback file. However, if you wanted to control what an individual single blog post URL looks like, well, in a traditional theme, you would have a file named single.php, right? Or if you wanted to control what a page instead of a post looked like, you'd have a file named page.php. Well, the good news is that from what I've seen, at least 99% of the time, that exact same naming system carries over into block themes. In other words, you just include those same named files in your templates folder. So if we wanted to control what an individual blog post screen looks like, in our templates folder, we would just create a file named single, but instead of PHP, it's single.html. So in this file, imagine we just want to copy over a paragraph, and we'll say, this is a single blog post template screen. Let's give that a save and test it out. So if we refresh the home page, we still see that template. However, if we go into our dashboard and maybe just go find a blog post to get the URL, right? So just on any of your posts, click the view link when you hover over one. Perfect. This is the URL for a single post, and there we see it. This is a single blog post template screen. And now all of your knowledge of a traditional theme carries over, right? So you would have files in this templates folder called archive.html, page.html. And it also works with custom post types, right? So just like you would have single dash and then the name of your custom post type, well, that exact same naming system works here in the templates folder. So the good news is a lot of your knowledge gets recycled here. It's not as if we're starting from scratch. Okay, now before we go any further, and especially now that we've looked at the single blog post screen, we really need to ask ourselves, well, what if we don't want just hard-coded static template code? What if we want code or content that's actually dynamic for this specific blog post, right? How do you actually load the title of this blog post and the body content for this blog post, right? How do you do anything dynamic without PHP if we can only use HTML comments and blocks? Let's give ourselves a super specific and concrete goal right now. So let's imagine we want to add the title of the current single blog post you're viewing right here. Now, we could spell out the block manually, but I think it's way more intuitive to use the WordPress full site editor screen. So back in our dashboard, look under the appearance menu and click on editor. By default, it's going to take you to your home page template. We're not interested in that, so you can click the top left, click templates, and we want to edit the single blog post template. So let's click on that. We don't actually need this paragraph block, so you could get rid of that if you want. With it empty, I just like to type a / because you can begin typing the block type you're interested in. But I'm interested in something called post title. So there you can see it available, post title. Let's click that. Maybe right below that, I want post content. So I'll just click that. So title, content. If I save this and then refresh the front end, well, as you might have guessed, there is the specific title for this blog, and here is the actual content. Now, that was simple enough because we're viewing the URL for one single individual blog post. But what if for example, on our homepage URL, we wanted to show the 5 most recent blog posts or the 10 most recent blog posts. Well, let's try it out. So back on this screen, if we go to our templates list, just for a quick test, we can edit our index, sort of our homepage template. And imagine we wanted to display the 5 most recent blog posts right here. And we wanted their title, then their date, and then maybe an excerpt. So we can just add a new block here called query loop. So the query loop block, I like to choose this start blank option and maybe just choose title and excerpt. Now, in order to make sense of what's going on here, I think it's almost mandatory to click this icon right here. So that gives you a bird's eye view, and it makes nested blocks actually possible to understand and visualize. So we've got the query loop, and then inside the query loop, there's nested the post template, pagination. I don't want pagination, so I'll just click on that and click backspace or delete. So I've just got my post template that lives inside a query loop. Anything that lives inside of post template will be duplicated for however many posts we want to display. So if we wanted to display 5, let's click on the overall query loop block, and then we can click on this icon, display settings, and items per page, just bump it up to 5. Okay? Inside the post template, what if we wanted the date for the blog post to sit in between the title and the excerpt? So I just click on the title, click insert after, and for the block type right here, I would just say post. date, click that, we can click save. If we refresh the front end, now you might be thinking to yourself, whoa, are we never going to use PHP ever again? Does this mean that we can just use block types like this for all of our dynamic needs? No, the answer is no, no, no. We're still absolutely going to use PHP. The query loop block is incredibly basic. You cannot build custom powerful queries with it. So if you click on the query loop and then click on the settings icon, in this right-hand sidebar, you can see, if you scroll down, you can choose which post type you're querying for. So that's pretty cool. You could choose, whatever custom post type you want. You can choose if you're ordering by the newest or oldest, but that's really it. I mean, you can filter by category, but that's it. So there'd be no way to filter for relationships or meta values. Or if you think back to our actual fictional university website, remember, for example, this upcoming events area? Remember, we wrote a custom query that looks at today's date and then only shows events where not the post date, but the event date, which is a meta value, where it is greater than today's date, right? Upcoming events. So my point is, you would still need to absolutely write your own custom PHP to perform truly custom queries. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's not like PHP is now against the law in WordPress. And it's not as if avoiding PHP and using blocks for everything magically makes your site more modern or faster. Because even if you do use blocks for everything, WordPress is still 100% going to use PHP. Let me show you an example. So let's think about that post title block. If you dig into your WordPress installation, instead of going into WP content, if you go into WP includes and then go into the blocks folder, this has a lot of the core default built-in WordPress blocks. And if you scroll down, you'll see a file named posttitle.php. If you open that up in your text editor and go down to about line 23, you'll see the good old PHP function, get the title. And then below that, it's going to perform its own logic. Like, do you want to wrap it in a link? Do you want it to be a heading level 1, heading level 2? So it's controlling the HTML. It's actually calling the PHP function. There is no magic going on here. So remember earlier in the lesson when I promised I'd address how we as web developers can actually control the HTML of our theme? Well, you're looking at the answer right here. We are going to create our own custom block types ourselves instead of only relying on WordPress default core blocks. That way, we can still write our own custom queries and we can control the HTML output if we want to. Now, you might be thinking to yourself, but Brad, how does the new default 2022 theme, how does it work with basically zero PHP? And my answer to that is quite simple. So you can go ahead and open up the 2022 theme in VS Code and look through the templates. And the reason it's able to get by with basically zero custom PHP is because it's not doing anything custom. For example, if you dig into single HTML, it's literally just using WordPress core blocks. At no point does it have any need for custom queries, custom relationships, custom HTML output. So yes, if the website you're trying to build fits with that, sure, maybe this approach is great and you can start to use WordPress as a design tool instead of a content management system. But that is not the approach we've ever taken in this course. So where do we go from here? Well, in our very next lesson, we're going to continue to discuss this 2022 theme a bit. And more importantly, we'll actually start to begin real work on our block theme together. Anyways, let's keep our momentum rolling and I will see you in the next lesson. Hello everyone. In this lesson we're going to talk about where we go from here. And what I mean is we need to address the very notion of what a theme is, or what it can be, or what it should be in this new era of full site editing and block themes. To explain the issues I'm trying to discuss here, let's talk a bit more about the default 2022 theme. So let's just open up that theme in our text editor. So in your WordPress installation folder, go into WP content, themes, and then here's the 2022 folder. Just open this up in your text editor. So if we dig into the templates folder and then open up maybe index.html, we see that the only thing in this file is default core WordPress blocks. Now, before we go any further in this lesson and I discuss my own personal philosophy of WordPress, I want to get it out of the way and say that there's nothing wrong with this approach. Yes, it may not align with the way that I use WordPress, and it may not align with the way that my non-developer clients want to use WordPress, but that's just a matter of personal preference. So I want to acknowledge that for a sizable percentage of people, this approach of using WordPress as a page builder tool, using the core blocks, this will be wonderful. And if these are the types of themes that you want to create, that's amazing. I think there will be plenty of people interested in using those types of themes. However, you don't need any guidance on how to create these types of themes. There's really nothing to learn. It's not as if the complexity of PHP is now gone and it's been replaced with tons of JavaScript complexity. There's really just no complexity of any variety now in these types of themes. You can dig through every file in this folder. You're really not going to find any PHP, any HTML, any CSS, or any JavaScript. It's literally just core default block comments and then maybe the teeny tiny bit of HTML that block would output. Now again, I'm not suggesting that that's bad. It's not. It's quite the opposite. I think this 2022 theme is amazing. My point is that it's simply not the type of theme that needs lessons and chapters explaining how to build it. You just jump into the WordPress editor and start combining different blocks together, providing a few intelligently chosen default values, both in the blocks themselves and in the theme.json file. Don't worry, we'll cover this file as we build our block theme together, but that's really it if you're just trying to build a theme like this. In fact, the majority of the lines of code in this theme actually live in the inc or includes folder, and then inside this patterns folder. So what in the world are block patterns? Well, they're really just like presets for blocks, or you can think of them sort of as like a tab trigger snippet in your text editor. A pattern is just a preset way of arranging blocks. But that's it. There's nothing custom going on. It's just more default core WordPress blocks, just arranged and combined in a certain way. If you've never seen a block pattern before, let me show you how they work right now. And the reason I want to show you this is because this is really a lot of the heavy lifting that the 2022 theme is doing. So even if we forget about this 2022 theme for a moment and we just think about WordPress itself. So for example, we have this really basic empty theme that we created in the previous video. And you and I definitely have not registered any custom block patterns yet. So even in this theme, if we go in to edit a blog post or page, maybe below this paragraph, if I try to add in a new block, if I use this tool, so instead of blocks, you can look under patterns. So WordPress by default has different patterns you can choose from. So if you scroll through this list, you'll see all sorts of different patterns. And we didn't register any custom ones. These just exist in WordPress. So image on solid color with description, you can click that and nothing magical just happened. It simply added in those blocks. So the HTML comments and a few preset values, it added it right into our post. And now when WordPress saves this, so if I click update to actually save that into the database, there's nothing dynamic or interesting going on. It doesn't have a reference that that's the pattern we used. It's literally just storing the HTML for these blocks. So there's no longer any connection between this and the pattern that created it. So for example, here's the database entry for that post. Here's the post content field. So there's the paragraph. And then if you scroll down, this is the code that the pattern inserted into the content. And there's no reference to the pattern that, the preset that inserted it. It's just the actual blocks that you would use. The columns block, the cover block. Is that a big deal? Is that a problem? Well, I don't know. That's for you to decide. I would never use this approach because now if a client used that pattern in 700 different posts or pages, there's no way for us as the developer to make a tiny adjustment to it in one place and have all 700 posts use the new updates, right? As soon as you insert a pattern like this, you are completely married to the output. Maybe for the types of websites you and your clients are building, that's not a problem. That's really up to you to decide. The reason I bring this up is just to let you know that that's really most of the heavy lifting that the 2022 theme is doing. So it's registering a bunch. So if you scroll through here, a bunch of, new block patterns. So you can click through them and look at what each one is doing, but really I'll give you a summary. It's just inserting core WordPress blocks in a certain way. So let's get back to the actual point of this video. If this is the approach you're interested in, if you want to build a theme similar to 2022, cool, congrats. You don't really need to learn anything else. You can close this video right now and just start experimenting in the WordPress editor screen, right? Because that's really all that's going on in every one of these files. However, and this is really the entire point of this video, if you're anything like me, you might be thinking to yourself, hey, I don't want to be 100% married to the core WordPress blocks. Or, hey, I don't want to be 100% married to the WordPress design system and the CSS that it outputs. Right? What if you want to use Bootstrap or Tailwind CSS? Or what if you want to use Sass and write your own CSS? In those cases, you would need to be in control of the HTML structure that's being used. Or, hey, I need to be able to query for complex relationships based on meta values or other certain conditions, and the query loop block just isn't going to cut it. Or perhaps the biggest concern of all, hey, what if my website is going to have 2,000 pages or 5,000 pages, and what if I don't want every single piece of content on my site to be mixed together with presentation, with zero separation between data and design? And what if I have these 5,000 pages and I want to change the HTML that a certain block type uses? I don't want to have to go into all 5,000 pages manually and hit the update button 5,000 times. I just want to be able to update a code file once and have all 5,000 posts use my newest code. Well, the good news is that is possible using a modern block-based approach, but you do need to set things up in a particular way that might not seem super intuitive at first. Anyways, if you've had any of these thoughts, it means that you can't, at least not 100%, follow the 2022 theme approach of exclusively using core blocks and built-in style options. Right? We need to take matters into our own hands a bit if we don't want to be completely restricted to WordPress managing all HTML and CSS for us. So where do we get started? Well, we're building a block theme, so let's start breaking down our website in terms of blocks. Remember, our goal was to convert the fictional university theme into a modern block-based theme. So right now, let me go ahead and switch back to the traditional fictional university theme. So under Appearance, let me switch back to fictional university. So this is not a block theme, this is a traditional theme. And remember, our goal together, step by step, is to convert this into a block theme. So what should our first step be? Well, let's just start breaking this design up into blocks. So I think our first step should be to turn this top banner area into its own block. So this banner block will not include this content, the navigation and the logo. It will just be the background image and this text and button content here. I think this will be a good first block to build. The idea is that we want this content to be very easy to edit. So we're going to take full advantage of the modern editor, the block-based approach, the what you see is what you get, click and type approach, and it should be a great bit of practice. Now, before we jump into that, I do want to say that I'm well aware you could create this layout and design using the core default WordPress blocks, right? Through a combination of the WordPress cover block and the headline block and the buttons block, you could create something that looks very, very similar to this. But that's not the point. The point is, what if you had a really complex and custom bespoke design? Something that was way more complicated than this in terms of visual design. The point is, how would you turn that into your own block, right? If you don't want to use the WordPress core blocks, sometimes you need to take matters into your own hands. So don't worry so much about the way that this looks, because this does look simplistic in terms of visual design. We're focused on how to take matters into our own hands. And that's exactly what we're going to learn how to do in the next lesson. I think it's going to be a ton of fun to start this journey of converting this theme into a modern block theme. So let's keep our momentum rolling, and I will see you in the next lesson.
Hello. Yeah. I see. I haven't gotten into WooCommerce yet. Maybe this guy has a video. He's really good. He's a really good teacher. There's another guy, let me see. What's his name again? Sorry about that chair. What is this guy's name? I'm subscribed to too many channels. Here he is. Mr. Digital. Yeah, this guy is...
Hey everyone, today I'm going to build a web. It doesn't load because it can't be found. So let's put it on our mobile. It still kind of looks good.
Hey, welcome back. In this video, we're going to learn about something called Bootstrap. Now, before we even answer the question of what in the world Bootstrap is, I just want to say that it's an amazing and how to learn more, right? You just dig through the documentation and try experimenting with different components and features. Now, if it's this easy to start using Bootstrap, you might be wondering, what's the point of writing your own CSS? Why does anyone even bother learning CSS? Why doesn't everyone just use Bootstrap for everything? Well, that's a good question. I would say it depends on your career goals. Because while you certainly can use Bootstrap on many different types of projects, there are other types of projects and clients certainly can use Bootstrap on many different types of... What I'm getting at is larger companies often have an established brand identity and they already have a style guideline, meaning they're very picky about the exact amount of spacing and margin and padding and the exact colors of border, the exact shadows, the exact everything, right? They're just super specific. And in situations like that, you're going to spend more time customizing and overriding Bootstrap values than you would just writing all of the CSS yourself. However, a lot of projects are not like that, and the client is not going to be that particular about the way things look. In that case, I think it makes perfect sense to use Bootstrap. Also, within the context of this bootcamp series, I think it makes a lot of sense to use Bootstrap. So here's what I recommend. Right now, we're bringing chapter 1 to a close, which is the design chapter. And in our very next video, we're going to start chapter number 2, which is programming. So for the remainder of this bootcamp series, I think it would make perfect sense for you to just use Bootstrap and not worry about CSS. This way, you can use all of your brain's horsepower on absorbing the new topics. Then, at the very end of this bootcamp series, if you are interested in design and the front end and the user interface, I absolutely recommend you stop using Bootstrap all of the time and actually go back and study CSS. Or if you don't ever want to use Bootstrap at all, that's totally fine too. That's your option. Now, before we bring this video to a close, I do want to say something in defense of CSS and sort of against using Bootstrap. So just this last week, I was talking to my friend. He's had all sorts of different jobs. He's been chief technology officer, and he was saying that they hire a lot of their developers from boot camps. And these developers they're hiring out of the boot camps, they're very skilled. A lot of their developers in a lot of different areas of programming. However, when it comes time to actually implement a new custom design component in the application, a lot of them struggle. Because if something isn't just copy and pasteable from Bootstrap or from a material design pre-existing component, well, a lot of these developers sort of fall apart. They never actually built their CSS skills. I know I've seen this in my work. There might be a developer who's super skilled when it comes to databases and servers, but if you ask them to implement a custom design that isn't just straight out of Bootstrap, they fall apart. And there's nothing wrong with that. We all have our own different strengths and weaknesses. So it's up to you to figure out what you're interested in, but I just want to say that it's very common for a lot of people to not be interested in CSS and they just want to learn programming because they think that's where the most lucrative jobs are or that's where the most job opportunities overall are. I'm not going to confirm or deny that, but I will say this. Every great development team needs at least one CSS superhero. There's just no way around that. Now, big picture, this doesn't really change anything because my career advice still stands, and that is follow your interests. Study whatever interests you the most and whatever seems like the most fun. If that's CSS, great. If it's not, just use Bootstrap like 99% of everyone else and leave the design to the CSS superheroes. That's the great thing about this industry. Everyone has their own strengths and weaknesses and superpowers. And that's the whole reason development teams exist, and it's not just one person creating everything. We come together as development teams, so that way we cover all of the different bases, and we have all of the strength necessary. Anyways, this is going to bring the design chapter to a close. In our very next video, we're going to begin the programming chapter. I know this is what many...
Alright, I'm gonna play a game for a little bit.
Sega.
This is so difficult, it's unreal.
On the 16th of December 1944, a massive artillery barrage caught Allied forces off guard, signaling the start of an unexpected German counteroffensive in the quiet Ardennes forests. Their intention? Split the Allied lines in half and
I want to restart the campaign. Let me just delete all this. Delete. Skip.
On the 16th of December 1944, a massive artillery barrage caught Allied forces off guard, signaling the start of an
All right, boys, don't worry too much. We've got artillery support to counter the Germans. We just gotta make damn sure to hold our line.
fighting position with some firepower.
Moving out, let's go.
Alright, here's the thing. You ready to go, man? Our fighting position now has some ordnance behind it. Fighting position machine gun is in place. Captain just took the battlefield. We have a lieutenant reporting in for duty.
Go ahead. Trap complete. Okay, guys. Be on the lookout for armor. Gather up. Load up. Go on. I got orders.
Barrage complete in figures 01 minutes.
All right. Lay wire from here. Shake a leg. Let's go. Come on, fellas. Let's go. We're all done over here. On your feet. Set up in there. Move. Yeah. Ready. Stay together. Move out. Listen up, fellas.
Be advised, fire mission complete in figures 20 seconds. I say again, fire mission complete in figures 20 seconds.
Just remember to keep moving, no matter what.
I've been attached to your group to provide artillery support. I'll take care of all your forward observer calls. Divisions assign all battalion artillery to our sector. We got fire support standing by, so call it as you see it.
Come on! Roll out the wire! Rounds are coming closer!
We got a rifle squad waiting for orders. Our fighting position now has some ordnance behind it.
These boys do the heavy lifting. Assault engineers are ready for combat.
We're taking fire!
Enemies are swarming one of our emplacements.
Stand by orders! Lay the gun onto that target! Fire support! Get those goddamn tank traps up! Get it going! Move!
One of our fighting positions is sustaining fire.
You surprised to your advantage. Remember your drill. All right. Lay wire from here to there. It's getting wasted for nothing. Ready! Go! Move! 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 Steady up. Get inside.
Infantry
Fill the gap.
neutralized. Enemy infantry neutralized.
We got eyes on enemy buildup west of the road. Germans hold a key position there. If we can open it up, we might be able to get some help sent this way.
Listen up. Here's the deal.
Mortar team, ready for orders.
Jump to it.
Rifle squad, ready for action.
That's done. Mark us for duty. I got orders, boys. Get your gear. We're moving out. All right. Lay wire from here to there.
Crew ready. Crew, make ready to pull out.
We got a rifle squad waiting for orders.
God damn it! Someone get us out here!
Enemies are swarming one of our emplacements.
Breaking the skirmish line! Get to it! Orders coming. Okay, move it along. They're all wiped out!
God damn it! Someone get us out of here! Direct hit! Fire is strong! Wait! Security! Stand by! Stand by! Combat promotion! Get that thing built!
Stand by orders! Stop it! Cover me! They got us zeroed in here! Get those goddamn tanks wrapped up!
On your feet, lady!
Get ready! We're moving! Grab the sight post! Snuff's up onto the other side. Let's go! Get that? The tracks? Hurry up! Before the pan...
Driver, get us over to that point. Driving squad, ready for action.
Battalion guns are doped and ready. Get them raining lead on those bastards.
All right, we're moving. Let's go. What the hell? True concentration! They got our range! Nail it! Stay low and get to it! All right, you dopes, listen up. Move it out, let's go.
Our 105s are up and ready to fire. One of our fighting positions is sustaining fire.
Stand ready!
Germans dropping smoke! Zero in on that cloud and get ready!
Get to that point!
We lost an infantry unit. They got wiped out. Crews looking for targets. AT battery raised and ready to fire. Set up a firing point in that emplacement.
Moving out, let's go.
Yeah.
On your feet, listen up. Here's the deal. Craft complete.
Fighting position machine gun is in place.
Make it happen, fellas. God damn it! Someone get us out of here! Craft complete. Okay, guys. Be on the lookout for armor. Ready. I don't know about you boys, but I'm really sharp. Lay out the edges and get to it. All right, here's the thing. We're on the hook over here! Hurry up, before the Panthers get here. Marksman and contact! Get ready to displace. Come on, fellas. It ain't gonna build itself.
Enemies are swarming one of our emplacements.
Trap complete. Okay, guys. Be on the lookout for armor. Taking fire! Break out the tools. Let's snap to it. Steady up, fellas. I got orders coming.
The enemy has destroyed an emplacement. One of our fighting positions is sustaining fire. Battalion reports a high-level German officer is in the area. Track him down and kill him. position.
Hit the fucking door!
Just got a report of an infantry unit being wiped out. Just got a report of an infantry unit being wiped out.
Load and...
On the 16th of December.
All right, boys, don't worry too much. We've got artillery support to counter the Germans. We just gotta make damn sure to hold our line.
Hurry up, before the Panzers get here. Steady up, fellas. I got orders coming. I heard them. Hurry up, before the Panzers get here. Steady up.
Set up a firing point in that emplacement.
Nuts. We got orders.
Reinforce that fighting position with some firepower. Our fighting position now has some ordnance behind it.
Hurry up, before the Panzers get here.
Fighting position machine gun is in place.
All right, you guys, make ready. Break her down. Get inside. Fill the gap. Get ready to displace.
We got a rifle squad waiting for orders. Barrage complete in figures 01 minutes.
Okay, guys, listen up. Here's the deal. All right, lay wire from here to there. Okay, guys, be on the lookout for armor.
Rifle squad ready for captain, just took the battlefield. The lieutenant has been assigned to field ops.
Jump to it, boys.
Be advised, fire mission complete in figures 20 seconds. I say again, fire mission complete in figures 20 seconds.
I got orders, boys. We're all done over here. Defensive position dug in right here.
We're all done.
I've been attached to your group to provide artillery support. I'll take care of all your forward observer calls. Divisions assign all battalion artillery to our sector. We got fire support standing by, so call it as you see it.
One of our fighting positions is sustaining fire.
Get your asses over there!
swarming one of our emplacements. A capture point is under attack.
Warning orders! Keep low! Keep low! Use cover! Squad on your feet. One man out. Let's move. Fire!
They're overrunning one of our sectors. Get a quick reaction force over there now.
Let's give them hell, boys! Get in! Cover your sector!
One of our fighting positions is sustaining fire.
Stand fire! Go, go, go! Enemy down! Steady up, fellas. I got orders coming. Down! Orders incoming! Ready for action. Set up in there. Move! Get the lead out. We've got orders. Move your ass! Go!
Enemies are swarming one of our emplacements.
Area's ours. Enemy
We got eyes on enemy buildup west of the road. Germans hold a key position there. If we can open it up, we might be able to get some help sent this way.
Enemy infantry neutralized.
Listen up, fellas.
Ah, nuts. We got orders coming.
Enemy contact! Where's he at?
One of our fighting positions is sustaining fire. Order team, ready for orders.
Fire!
We got a rifle squad waiting for orders.
God damn it! Stars out! Get us out of here! Structures up! Completed! Squad, get ready! Get those goddamn tank traps up! Infantry in force!
Enemies are swarming one of our emplacements.
Move, goddammit! Move your ass! Go! We need to fire!
German infantry!
Ground infantry!
Troop, stand by. Troop, make ready to pull out.
Fire and adjust! Fire and adjust!
Moving out,
Taking
let's
fire!
go.
Counter! Contact! Get down!
One of our fighting positions is sustaining fire.
Left field! They're all gunned down! Man over here! Tank traps up! Orders! Get moving! Infantry! Knocked out! Reversing! Move! Get to their man infantry! Run! Get over there! Enemy infantry taken out!
Infantry neutralized!
Listen up! Hurry up! Before the Panthers get here! Listen up! Here's the deal.
We got a blowtorch pointing our way.
Hurry up! Before the Panthers get here!
Starts firing. Get behind me and do your job. As well as I do, we might have wins against the soldiers.
Taking fire!
Enemies are swarming one of our emplacements.
Battalion guns are doped and ready. Get them raining lead on those bastards.
Rifle squad ready for action.
Get on that target!
They got us zeroed in here!
Gather round. Pushing into enemy line.
We're not looking for a fight. Our 105s are up and ready to fire. One of our fighting positions is sustaining fire.
Under fire! Enemy infantry taken out!
We got a rifle squad waiting for orders.
Hurry up! Before the Panthers get here!
smoke! Zero in on that cloud and get ready!
Task complete!
Enemies are swarming one of our emplacements.
Tank traps up! Enemy KIA! Squad, get ready! Run! Move it! Steady up, fellas. I got orders coming.
Keeping on armored targets, anti-tank artillery crews are ready to crack them.
All right, we're moving. Let's go. God damn it!
One of our fighting positions is sustaining fire.
Contact! Get those goddamn tank traps up! Target down! Warning orders! There it is! Now nail the other one! Enemy infantry taken out! Get them things out!
Enemies are swarming one of our emplacements.
Knock it off! Listen up! Okay, move it along. Steady up, fellas. I got orders.
One of our fighting positions is sustaining fire.
Behind enemy line. Defensive fire. Move your ass! Go! Someone get us out of here! Move, goddamn it! Us zeroed in here!
Enemies are swarming one of our emplacements.
Battalion reports a high-level German officer is in the area. Track him down and kill him.
The enemy has destroyed an emplacement.
Stand by! Enemy infantry taken out! Orders incoming! Run! Get over there! Enemy infantry neutralized!
One of our fighting positions is sustaining fire.
God damn it! Someone get us out of here! Get on it, fellas.
Battalion guns are doped and ready. Get them raining lead on those bastards.
Infantry neutralized! Contact! Infantry! Enemy is flanking! Infantry neutralized!
Enemies are swarming one of our emplacements.
Move! Get to that point!
Mortar crew standing by for orders.
Enemy infantry neutralized!
Rifle squad ready for action.
Under attack!
Heavy machine gun team ready for orders. One of our fighting positions is sustaining fire.
Try to outflank him! Damn it!
Fire and adjust!
We just lost a unit.
Steady up! Coming up on the flank!
We've got a rifle squad waiting for orders.
God damn it!
We lost a gun crew. Enemies are swarming one of our emplacements.
Taking fire!
We've lost a fighting position.
Crowds are sniffing around our asses. Tactical point being captured.
Watch your heads, boys. We'll smash them. PC battery. Fire!
They're overrunning one of our sectors. Get a quick reaction force over there now.
One of our fighting positions is sustaining fire. Listen, get your asses over there! Yeah! They're cooked! Come on, fellas, let's go! All right, we're moving. Let's go. Shake a leg, let's go. Enemy is flanking! They're trying to outflank us! Area captured! Fire! Gun crew just got white.
This is ridiculous. Truly ridiculous.
On the
Alright, boys, don't worry too much. We've got artillery support to counter the Germans. We just gotta make damn sure to hold our line.
Steady up, fellas. I got orders coming. Round up, man, and let's get to it. Yeah. On your feet, ladies.
Rifle squad ready for action.
Hurry up, before the pigs get here. Right, you go. Moving out, let's go. Reinforce that fighting position with some firepower.
Captain just took the battlefield. We have a lieutenant reporting in for duty.
Our fighting position now has some ordnance behind it. Fighting position machine gun is in place. Gather round. Ready. Keep your mag pouches handy. High rates of fire. It's over buttons now. Close it up.
Barrage complete in figures 01 minutes.
seconds. I say again, fire mission complete in figures 20 seconds.
Done over here. Hurry up! Before the Panzers get here.
I've been attached to your group to provide artillery support. I'll take care of all your forward observer calls. Divisions assign all battalion artillery to our sector. We got fire support standing by, so call it as you see it.
We're taking fire! Good to go here. Watch out! Hook on fire! Listen up!
Units in reserve. Assault engineers are all geared to go.
Watch your distance! All right. Lay wire from here to there. Steady up, fellas. I got orders coming. Tank traps up! All right. Lay wire from here to there. Get ready! Stay low and get it done!
Get ready to displace.
That's on the money!
Break out the tools. Let's snap to it.
Squad on your feet. Set up in there. Move! That's done. Mark us for duty. Point man out. Let's move. Attention! Orders! Inside, and pick a sector. We're not shaved, having dirty uniforms, not wearing ties. Reason wires up. Come on, fellas, let's go. All right, here's the thing.
Enemies are swarming one of our emplacements.
Enemy squad!
Infantry!
Keep their heads down!
We got eyes on enemy buildup west of the road. Germans hold a key position there. If we can open it up, we might be able to get some help sent this way.
Warning orders! Don't get bogged down. Stand by orders! Where are they coming from? Enemy KIA! Stay low and get to it!
He's losing his goddamn...
Mortar crew, standing by for orders.
Someone get us out here!
You got a rifle squad waiting for orders.
Enemy infantry neutralized.
Mortar team, ready for orders.
Let's get it done, boys. Listen.
Rifle squad, ready for action. One of our fighting positions is sustaining fire.
Ah, nuts. We got orders coming. Hold the task complete!
To the front! Take good positions and defend your ground!
Let's knock it off. And listen up. Moving out. Let's go.
Enemies are swarming one of our emplacements.
Grab the bipod. Let's go. Yeah, go ahead. Break it down. Secure the round. Hit that lead!
Set up a firing point in that emplacement.
Stand by! Stand by! Get that thing built! Enemy infantry taken out! Build complete! Road's got us pegged!
Our fighting position now has some ordnance behind it. One of our fighting positions is sustaining fire.
Hot damn! That got us! Tube ready!
Alright, the boys still got more in the tank. Frontline forces are ready to dig in.
Get that thing built! They're all dead! Build complete! Break into skirmish line! Trap complete. God damn it! Okay, guys. All right, before the Panzers get here!
All I care about is getting home in one piece. I hope the man above is looking out for me. Otherwise...
Hold your ground! Break out the tools. Let's snap to it.
Battalion guns are doped and ready. Get them raining lead on those bastards.
Knock. Okay, move it along. Go ahead. Standing by. Tear it down. We gotta move.
We're all done. Frag grenades are on their way up to the lines. You're starting. Enemies are swarming one of our emplacements. Lay out the
Infantry!
Germans dropping smoke! Zero in on that cloud and get ready!
frag grenades now available for action.
I got orders, boys.
Don't let the barrels get cold. 105s just need some targets.
That did it! We're all done. Shake it up. Let's get it done. Ready.
You got a rifle squad waiting for orders. One of our fighting positions is sustaining fire.
Don't push them too hard, but if needed, frontline forces are ready to defend.
Gather
Rifle squad ready for action.
cover off on that anti-tank gun. Ah, nuts. We got orders. God damn it! Someone get us out of here! Orders incoming! Neutralize!
AT shells loaded. Artillery crew is awaiting targets.
We just lost a unit.
Lay out the edges. Get to it.
God damn it! Someone get us out of here!
Get behind something. Front line. Hold.
We lost it.
Units in your area disabled a tank. Locate and destroy it before the Germans get it mobile.
New target! Goddamn line! We're all here!
You got a rifle squad waiting for orders.
Warning orders! Contact! Infantry! God damn it!
Gun crew just got wiped out.
Frontline forces recovered and awaiting defensive orders.
Battalion guns are doped and ready. Get them raining lead on those bastards.
All right, you dudes, listen up. Moving out, let's go. Oh, fuck! Infantry!
Enemies are swarming one of our emplacements.
Get those goddamn tank traps up! that
Rifle squad ready for action.
Do not get pinned! Order! We're getting plastered over here! Move, goddammit! Hit him with frags! Order!
One of our fighting positions is sustaining fire.
Use grenades! Enemy infantry taken out! Get moving!
Front line! Damn Krauts just wasted some of our riflemen.
Got stand ready! Someone get us out of here!
We lost an infantry unit. They got wiped out. Enemies are swarming one of our emplacements. We lost a gun crew. We got a rifle squad waiting for orders.
Get those goddamn tank traps up!
Makes you proud, don't it? Boys on the front line.
We lost a gun crew.
Gather round. Taking fire!
Our boys need support. Level that area. Fire!
Squad, get ready! Krauts are dead! Hit him with frags! Knock it off. Man that weapon. Hold the goddamn line!
Just got a report of an infantry unit being wiped out.
We're taking effective fire! You're all dead!
One of our fighting positions is sustaining fire.
We're taking fire! Order! Move! Get to that point! Hit him with frags!
We've lost a fighting position.
Charge for action. Ready to fire.
Enemies are swarming one of our emplacements.
Get to cover. Stop the advance.
Battalion guns are doped and ready. Get them raining lead on those bastards.
Egg ready! Home run!
Just got a report of an infantry unit being wiped. One of our fighting positions is sustaining fire.
Okay, move it along.
God damn it! Someone get us out of here!
Under attack! Steady up. Get inside. Building contact. Enemy infantry! Okay, guys.
Enemies are swarming one of our emplacements.
Don't push them too hard, but if needed,
Enemies are swarming one of our emplacements.
They got him zeroed in here! He's done!
Alright, the boys still got more in the tank. Frontline forces are ready to dig in.
One of our fighting positions is sustaining fire.
Infantry!
The enemy has destroyed an emplacement.
Crowd fuckers down! Enemy contact! Infantry in force! Under fire!
We lost an infantry unit. They got wiped out. Enemies are swarming one of our emplacements.
On the hook over here!
Battalion reports artillery is out of ammo. We're on our own.
Positions is sustaining fire.
Unit down, man!
Jim Crouch just wasted some of our riflemen. Enemies are swarming one of our emplacements. We've lost a fighting position.
Coming up on the
Rifle squad ready for action.
Look at that, boys! Sky's clearing! Help will be here any minute!
Careful out there. Dog's been losing a lot of men.
Just got a report of an infantry unit being wiped out. A capture point is under attack. We lost an infantry unit. They got wiped out.
They're overrunning one of our sectors! Get a quick reaction force over there now!
Trying to outflank him!
We got a rifle squad. Wait. Just got a report of an infantry unit being wiped out.
They're trying to outflank him! Hold the goddamn line!
Hold the line! Hold the line! Support's almost here!
Fire.
Coming up on the flank!
We lost an infantry unit. They got wiped out.
Heavy armor! They're hitting our flank!
Just got a report of an infantry unit being wiped out.
They're trying to outflank him! They're way to us!
We lost a gun. Enemies are swarming one of our emplacements.
ours.
On the 16th of December 1944, a massive artillery barrage caught Allied forces off guard.
Hi, boys. Don't worry too much. We've got artillery support to counter the Germans. We just gotta make damn sure to hold our line.
Round up the men and let's get to it. Ready? Breaking up the two. Let's snap two. Yeah. On your feet, ladies. Go on, get in.
Set up a firing point in that emplacement. Reinforce that fighting position with some firepower.
Hurry up! Before the Panthers get here. All right. Here's the thing. Hurry up!
Our fighting position now has some ordnance behind it. Fighting position machine gun is in place. Captain just took the battlefield. We have a lieutenant reporting in for duty.
I got the gun. Grab the tripod. Let's go. I got orders, boys. Jump right over here. Steady up, fellas. I got orders coming. Hurry up! Before the Panthers get here! Mark us for duty! Get your gear! Moving out!
Barrage complete in figures 01 minutes.
Right. Lay wire from here to there. Squad on your feet! Clear on the other side. All right, man. Move out. Yeah, ready. Get in and spread the men out.
That's done. Be advised, fire mission complete in figures 20 seconds. I say again, fire mission complete in figures 20 seconds.
Yeah. Break it down. Make ready and move. Listen up. Trap's complete. Here's the deal. Okay, guys.
I've been attached to your group to provide artillery support. I'll take care of all your forward observer calls.
Team, ready?
Divisions assign all battalion artillery to our sector. We got fire support standing by, so call it as you see it.
Enemies are swarming one of our emplacements.
Get ready here! Get those goddamn tank traps up! All right, here's the thing. We're all done over here. Shake it up. Let's get it done.
Rifle squad ready for action.
We're ready. We're moving. Grab the sight post. Structures up! We're getting plastered over here! Moving out. Let's go. Listen up! Right, God dang it! Get started! Let's go!
Assault engineer specialists in reserve and ready to be deployed.
One of our fighting positions is sustaining fire.
Squad, get ready! Steady up, fellas. I got orders coming.
Lock it down. We're moving.
That's done. Mark us for duty.
We got eyes on enemy buildup west of the road.
Hurry up!
Germans hold a key position there. If we can open it up, we might be able to get some help sent this way.
I got orders, boys. Come on, fellas, let's go. Let's get it done, boys. Listen up. Here's the deal.
Enemies are swarming one of our emplacements.
That's done. Ready to go, man.
Enemy contact! Infantry is more!
Get here. God damn it! Someone get us out of here! All right.
Unit down! Adjust fire!
Nuts. Traps complete. We got orders coming. Okay, guys. Move it along. Be on the lookout for armor. We're in defensive position. W right here.
One of our fighting positions is sustaining fire.
Stand by orders. Move your ass. Go. Yeah. Come on. Roll out the wire. Let them have it with the
Enemies are swarming one of our emplacements.
orders.
Reinforce that fighting position with some firepower.
Let's go. German infantry! Get on! Come on! Roll out the wire! Fire is struck! We're taking land over here! Move it! Get on it, fella.
Our fighting position now has some ordnance behind it.
All right, you dopes, listen up.
Frag grenades are on their way up to the lines.
We get in contact. Out of the kill zone. Steady up, fellas. I got orders coming. All right. Lay wire over here.
One of our fighting positions is sustaining fire.
What's up, fellas?
Frag grenades now available for action.
Okay, ready?
Italian guns are doped and ready. Get them raining lead on those bastards.
Get moving! 75mm howitzer, standing by for orders. Enemies are swarming one of our emplacements. Listen up. Here's the deal. Hurry up. Before the Panthers get here. All right. We're moving. Let's go. Hurry up. Before the Panthers get here.
Our 105s are ready to support. Batteries are loaded and...
Germans dropping smoke! Zero in on that cloud and get ready! It's sustaining fire! Nail them with grenades! Squad, get ready! Move, goddammit! Under fire! Ready to go, man. Active maneuvers! Run! Get over there! They got a zero in here! He's lit over here! Holy mackerel! Get ready! Move! Get to that point! Alright, now here's the thing. Okay, guys. Enemies are swarming one of our emplacements. Enemy infantry! Get down! Get ready!
Ammo over manpower. Anti-tank battery ready to bust up German armor.
Yeah, go ahead. Tank traps up! True, make ready to pull out. Pack it up, we're moving. Steady up, fellas. I got orders coming. Hurry up, before the Panthers get... Go, go, go! Orders incoming! Move your ass! Go! Use grenades! Ground infantry neutralized! Get moving! We just lost a unit! We're taking land over here! Traps complete. Okay, guys. Be on the lookout for armor. Listen up. Here's the deal. Here we are, killing... Just got a report of an infantry unit being wiped out. Millions off the big old war machine. Where's all that money going? You ever think of that? You got a rifle squad? Wait.
Now listen up. I got secondary objectives the battalion's calling for. Save the gripe. They're hurried to pull out. The Germans have been leaving intel behind. Locate and retrieve whatever you can. Could save a lot of trouble for us.
One of our fighting positions is sustaining fire. Rifle squad ready for action. Squad, game it! Run! Move it! Those are cracking over our heads, goddammit! You're all dead! We're on the hook over here! All right, moving out. Let's go. Enemies are swarming one of our emplacements. I got him! The enemy has destroyed an emplacement. Contact! Infantry! We're taking fire! Lock it down to move! Hurry! One of our fighting positions is sustaining fire.
To the front! Take up positions and defend your ground!
Squad, get ready! Gather round. I smell orders. Pushing into enemy lines. We're not looking for a fight. Crowd's taking pot shots at us! Enemies are swarming one of our emplacements. Fire! Stand ready!
forces are ready to defend.
Stand ready! Move your ass! Go! Move! Get to that point! Orders and drop those assholes! Taking fire! Enemy infantry taken out! Get down! Hold on! Run! Get over there!
One of our fighting positions is sustaining fire.
Open up!
Enemy is
Move, goddammit! Taking fire! Hit him with frags!
Just got a report of an infantry unit being wiped out.
Orders!
Go ahead. Standing by.
Enemies are swarming one of our emplacements.
We're getting chewed up here! Lock the dirt!
We lost an infantry unit. They got wiped out.
Road's got us pegged! Concentration! They got our range! Flank security!
No more dying today, boys. Regroup and dig in.
One of our fighting positions is sustaining fire.
Get moving!
Rifle squad ready for action.
Someone get us out of here! Neutralized! They're trying to break through on the
Infantry neutralized.
Orders! Move your ass! Go! Enemy is flanking! Hit him with frags! Grenade, move! They're hitting our flag!
All right, you don't listen up. We got a rifle squad waiting for orders.
Dish out hell!
Battalion guns are doped and ready. Get them raining lead on those bastards.
They're trying to break through on the flank!
We lost a gun crew. Enemies are swarming one of our emplacements. We've lost a fighting position.
Move your ass! Go!
I want irreparable damage on targets in this location. AT battery. Fire!
We lost a gun crew.
German infantry! Steady up. We're getting blasted over here! Target down! Run! Get over there! Nail him with grenades! Move, goddammit!
Damn Crouch just wasted some of our riflemen.
Infantry!
Careful out there. Dog's been losing a lot of men.
Come on, keep firing! That's it!
Anti-tank battery ready to grind them down. Just give the order.
Crouch! Drop it on their heads! I want fire superiority! Good effect on target! Taking fire!
One of our fighting positions is sustaining fire.
Now? Boy, we just got... Get ready! Oh, fuck! Infantry! We take fire!
Heavy machine gun team ready for orders.
I got more! Target! HMG squad, ready for action.
Listen up! Infantry neutralized! All right, you guys. Make ready.
Enemies are swarming one of our emplacements. Rifle squad, ready for action.
Infantry! Stand on! Fire the gun! Enemy contact! Where's he at?
Battalion reports artillery is out of ammo. We're on our own.
One of our fighting positions is sustaining fire.
True concentration! They got our range! You tested it!
We'll stop them here! Frontline positions! Get to cover!
Enemies are swarming one of our emplacements.
Rounds on! I need an enemy down!
We got a rifle squad waiting for orders.
Get ready, guys.
Look at that, boys! Sky's clearing! Help will be here any minute!
One of our fighting positions is sustaining fire.
Makes proud, don't it? Boys on the front line are able to hold their ground again.
Enemies are swarming one of our emplacements.
They got us zeroed in here! True concentration! Boy, get ready! Are you serious? Boy, we just got
Gun crew just got wiped out.
Hold the line! Hold the line! Support's almost here!
One of our fighting positions is sustaining fire. We just lost a unit.
We're getting chewed out the front! Those are cracking over our heads, goddammit! Let it rip! Move! Get to that point! Are dead! We're getting blasted over here!
Enemies are swarming one of our emplacements.
Enemy infantry!
The enemy has destroyed an emplacement.
On the 16th of December 19...
Hi, boys. Don't worry too much. We've got artillery support to counter the Germans. We just gotta make damn sure to hold our line.
Hurry up, before the Panthers get here. Make it happen, fellas. Hurry up, before the Panthers get here.
Reinforce that fighting position with some firepower.
Okay, move it along.
Reinforce that fighting position with some firepower.
Hurry up, before the Panthers get here.
Fighting position machine gun is in place. Our fighting position now has some ordnance behind it.
You know what to do, boys. Hey, man, stand by. Let's go. All right, take up positions there. Get inside. Fill the gap. Steady, guys. Get the lead out. Got orders. Let's get jump to it. Shake a leg.
Barrage complete in figures 01 minutes.
All right. Lay wire from here to there. That's done. Ready to go, man. Look, don't get bogged down. Tear it apart. Gotta move. All right. We're moving. Let's go.
Be advised, fire mission complete in figures 20 seconds. I say again, fire mission complete in figures 20 seconds. Frag grenades are on their way up to the lines.
I've been attached to your group to provide artillery support. I'll take care of all your forward observer calls. Divisions assign all battalion artillery to our sector. We got fire support standing by, so call it as you see it.
Listen up. Run, goddang it!
Frag grenades now available for action.
I got orders. Come on, fellas. Get your asses over there!
These boys do the heavy lifting. Assault engineers are ready for combat.
Get on it, fellas. Yeah.
Captain just took the battlefield. The lieutenant has been assigned to field ops.
Shift it over. Get ready! Target destroyed! Boarding orders! Stand by orders! Shake it up! Let's get it done!
We got a rifle squad waiting for orders.
Stay low! Move fast!
Organize the men, Corporal. Move in. Set up fields of fire.
Squad, on your feet. Set up in there. Move!
Knock it off and listen up. Load up. Go on.
Okay, guys. All right. Be on the lookout for armor.
Enemies are swarming one of our emplacements.
We got eyes on enemy buildup west of the road. Germans hold a key position there. If we can open it up, we might be able to get some help sent this way.
it! Don't get hung up!
One of our fighting positions is sustaining fire.
Get that thing built! Let's run! Move it! Stay low and get it done! Crow, infantry! Fire and check! Fire and check! Area fire!
Enemies are swarming one of our emplacements.
Build complete! Break in the skirmish line! Listen up. Here's the deal.
Fighting position machine gun is in place.
Heads up! Enemy infantry in force! Squad, get ready! Run! Fire! Get it going! Move!
One of our fighting positions is sustaining fire. Rifle squad ready for action.
Keep adjusting your position! Enemy infantry! Ready yourself! Enemy infantry!
We got a rifle squad waiting for orders.
Gather Cheers up! I smell orders. Okay, move it along. Get started! Let's go! Ready yourself!
Enemies are swarming one of our emplacements. Rifle squad ready for action.
They're wide to us! Yeah! They're hurt! All right, you goats, listen up. Move that thing. There it is! Now go! Hold your ground! Enemy infantry! Move fast! Steady up, fellas. I got orders coming.
Battalion guns are doped and ready. Get them raining lead on those bastards.
Get on it, fellas. Job complete. We got orders coming. Moving out. Let's go. Crowd infantry neutralized! Listen up, fellas.
Remember, for every second between the crack and the thump, it means the shooter
Make
is
it
about
happen,
100
fellas.
yards away. So 3 seconds means
Steady up.
Push through any attack. We gotta get to the enemy location.
Okay, move it along.
True concentration! They got our range!
We're all done.
Target down! All right, you dope.
Germans dropping smoke! Zero in on that cloud and get ready!
Regroup! Get to cover, boys! Hold fast!
Enemy infantry in force!
Contact! Infantry!
Enemy KIA! Steady up, fellas. I got orders coming.
Our 105s are up and ready to fire.
Enemies are swarming one of our emplacements.
Get to that point! Run! Get over there! Move your ass! Go! Use grenades! Grenade! Move it!
Crew's looking for targets. 18 battery raised and ready to fire.
Infantry! Move, goddammit! Order! Move your ass!
We lost an infantry unit. They got wiped out.
Hit him with frags! Hot damn! That got him! I want that position secured! Orders! Run! Get over there! Crowds are dead!
squads just need some targets.
Listen up, take the leg. Let's go. Enemy achieved breakthrough. Stand by. Enemy infantry just got.
Good job. Easy Company's sending support. They'll keep sending squads as long as they can. Just hold the area.
Steady up. Contact! Ground infantry! We're on the hook!
One of our... Now listen up. I got secondary objectives the battalion's calling for. Save the gripe. They're hurried to pull out. The Germans have been leaving intel behind. Locate and retrieve whatever you can. Could save a lot of trouble for us.
Forward elements of Easy just got here.
Get to cover! Stop the advance!
We got a rifle squad waiting for orders.
Target destroyed! Keep it up!
Battalion guns are doped and ready. Get them raining lead on those bastards.
Ground's taking pot shots at us!
Rifle squad ready for action.
Even if we don't...
Fire in the chest! Fire in the chest!
One of our fighting positions is sustaining fire.
Get that base down!
The enemy has destroyed an emplacement.
We're taking lead over here!
We got a rifle squad waiting for orders.
Steady up.
Taking fire!
That's on the money!
Just got a report of an infantry unit being wiped out.
Tank traps up! God damn it! Someone get us out of here! Knock it off and listen up. Gather round.
Sounds complete.
Moving out. Let's go.
Enemies are swarming one of our emplacements.
Crouch, give us some trouble here! Enemy infantry! Road's got us pegged!
We lost an infantry unit. They got wiped out.
Get to work!
Rifles.
Alright, the boys still got more in the tank. Frontline forces are ready to dig in.
Infantry! Yeah! Field promotion!
Be ready!
Wait till they move!
One of our fighting positions is sustaining fire.
German infantry!
Our fighting position now has some ordnance behind it.
Infantry!
Set up a firing point in that emplacement. Just got a report of an infantry unit being wiped out.
Break it into two.
Enemies are swarming one of our emplacements.
Steady up. Okay, move it along.
Fighting position machine gun is in place.
Crowd infantry neutralized! This is gonna take us to the crowd lines, so stay alert.
We've lost a fighting position.
of our fighting positions is sustaining fire.
Climb! Move your ass!
Damn Krauts just wasted some of our riflemen.
Move! Get to that point! Move, goddammit! Squad, find cover inside! Someone get us out of here!
Damn Krauts just wasted some of our riflemen.
Stay low! Stay low!
Enemies are swarming one of our emplacements.
Battalion guns are doped and ready. Get them raining lead on those bastards.
Aid! Stand ready! Get into cover! God damn it! Someone get us out of here!
We just lost a unit.
Move your ass! Go! Move, goddammit!
One of our fighting positions is sustaining fire. Just got a report of an infantry unit being wiped out.
They're overrunning one of our sectors. Get a quick reaction force over there now.
The enemy has destroyed an emplacement. Damn Krauts just wasted some of our riflemen.
Behind Kraut lines. Don't take any fire. Under fire! Lay out right on the fire!
Got a rifle squad waiting for orders.
We're taking lead over here! Moving out, let's go. Get on that fucking point! Secure and hold that damn position!
We lost an infantry unit. They got wiped out.
Careful out there. Dog's been losing a lot of men.
Infantry unit. They got wiped out.
Kraut's got us pegged!
More of Easy Company just got here.
Enemy infantry taken out! We're on the hook over here!
We just lost a unit.
They're trying to outflank us!
Reinforce that fighting position with some firepower.
Defensive fire only. They're trying to outflank us! Taking fire! They're coming up on the flank! We're getting plastered over here!
Enemies are swarming one of our emplacements.
I'm literally done with that shit, dude. Fuck that shit, man. Fuck that shit. I'm disappointed with the game. What is taking up so much space on the fucking games? What is taking up so much space, dude? What is this? Daisy. Man, let's just get rid of Daisy as well. Spending an hour freaking running around looking for food, dude. Nope. Are you seriously crashing, bro? Jeez, man. I'm gonna look at what's new. No extra food? No extra food, huh? Literally nothing about food. Okay, see you later. Bye. install Just Cause 3. It's an old game, but at least it's playable.
In America, and you better well know that you should show no traces of having American